Hey, good morning, grade 5. It's lovely to have you back again. Let's get on with our lesson. As with the normal start to the lesson, just a reminder, any questions, grade5@worksheetcloud.com. And after the lesson, click on the link above, do the questions, and check whether you have mastered what it is that we're doing today. Also, as per normal, we're going to start with mental arithmetic. So 10 problems, 40 quests, 40 seconds. You only write the answer. It's just to get your brain up to speed. These are the kind of things that your brain, you shouldn't have to work out each time you see these kinds of problems. It should just be like right there. Okay, 40 seconds, and your time starts now. Stop. I think that was 40 seconds. If it was accidentally 30, I apologize. Okay, but I think that was 40 seconds. Right. 12 minus 7 is 5. 11 minus 9 is 2. 14 minus 14 is 0. Anything minus itself is 0. So, 14 minus 14 is 0. 9 minus 2 is 7. 15 minus 12 is 3. 11 minus 10 is 1. 10 minus 3 is 7. 6 minus 6 is 0. 13 minus 4 is 9. 15 minus 11 is 4. If you missed any of those, just rewind the video and check. Remember, it's not so much the mark that's important, it's that we're progressing and that we're learning and that we're getting these kind of mental things to happen quickly inside our heads. Today's lesson is word problems with Bedmas. So this is probably where most children in grade 4 and 5, actually most children in school struggle the most. It's when the maths comes to you in words and you need to take those words and turn it into maths and solve it. That's probably where most people come unstuck. So we're going to practice that a bit today. Particularly, I've made the word problems one with Bedmas. So we're going to practice writing out the 3 parts of a word problem that are important. So when you get a word problem, you need to write a number sentence, then work out your answers, and then do an answer sentence. So it's important that when we do a word problem, we must write a word answer. And most of the time, your teacher will give you a mark for writing down the number sentence, which is the math that you're going to do, a mark for your workings, and a mark for your answer. So it's important to get all 3. Lesson goals today: be able to create a number sentence from word problems, and to recap Bedmas. So doing the Bedmas problems, I'll remind you what Bedmas is in a moment. Here we go, reminder of Bedmas. So Bedmas is just the order that we do things when we're doing maths. It helps make sure that we all get the same answer and we have a right answer and wrong answers. So B is for brackets, E is for exponents, which you won't probably do until grade 6. So you don't really need to worry. I haven't included any of those. Then division, multiplication, and addition and subtraction. But remembering that when we get to addition and subtraction, then we work from left to right. Okay, let's go to the whiteboard quickly and recap Bedmas just before we get on. So I've just put in 3 problems here for us to go through Bedmas, just to remind ourselves what Bedmas was and order of operations just before we go on to working out some word problems. So, number 1, I always feel it's important to write down the problem first, like that. The next step I'm going to do is to underline the part that I'm going to do first. So, on the right-hand side, I'm just going to write down Bedmas so I can check. So I don't have any brackets, I don't have exponents, I don't have division, I have some multiplication, so that's what I'm going to start with. I choose to do 1 step per line, so I'm rewriting that, I'm not doing anything with it. And then I've got 2 times 6, and I put the answer to that down here. So now I've got 6 plus 6. the only thing I'd have left now is addition, so I'm going to do that, and 6 plus 6 is 12. That's the kind of mental arithmetic we practice daily. There we go, there's our answer. Let's look at the second problem. I think I've got space before I move my screen up. So 8 minus 2 times 4. So again, looking at Bedmas on the right, I've got some brackets, so that means I'm going to start with those brackets. So what I do is I solve what was inside the brackets. 8 minus 2 is 6. I'm leaving my times 4 unchanged. I'm just rewriting it on the next line. Now if I look at Bedmas, all I have is a multiplication left, so I'm going to do that. So 6 times 4 is 24, and there's my answer. Question 3, got to scroll back up to see it quickly. 95 minus 44 minus 5. 95 minus 44 minus 5. So we only have subtraction, and so if we've only got subtraction, we work from left to right. So I'm going to start by just doing that part. So 95 minus 44. If you can't do that just in your head, then that's fine. Jot it down on the side. 95 minus 44. See, we've practiced these. So 5 minus 4 is 1. 9 minus 4 is 5. So I've got 51. 51, and my minus 5 stays the same. If I then want to move up, if I then want, well, I've got to do 51 minus 5. I can do that in my head, but if we needed to practice, then we can go 51 minus 5. 1 minus 5 we can't do, so we borrow. 11 minus 5 is 6. 4 minus nothing is 4. And so my final answer is 46. All right, that's just a quick recap of Bedmas. So I thought we'd go back and look at the word problems. I've got 5 set out so long. If we need more, I've got some more lined up, but let's start with those 5. So Michael has 2 boxes of pencils with 12 in each box. He gives 6 pencils to his sister Susan. That's actually my brother and sister's names. And then we ask the question, how many does he have left? So how many pencils does he have left? So it's the first question. At the bakery, a cupcake costs 12 Rand, a muffin costs 8 Rand. How much more does it cost to buy 2 muffins than 1 cupcake? Okay. Question 3. Your mum buys you a 6-month membership to a football club. It normally costs 400, but she got a 40 Rand discount. If she pays it monthly, how much does she pay each month? Number 4. During the holidays, you decide to wash cars for money. You charge 30 Rand per car. If you wash 15 cars in 3 hours, how much money are you making each hour? There are 98 children in a grade 5 class. I suppose it's in a year, it's not one class. 44 are girls. On Monday, 5 girls and 6 boys were absent. How many boys were at school on Monday? Right, so we're going to start with number 1. I've put all of these on the whiteboard already. So the first step for each of these is to make a number sentence. And making a number sentence, if you get the number sentence wrong, it's going to make it difficult for you to get the problem right. Well, obviously you can't get the problem right because you've got the number wrong or the question wrong. You're working out the wrong thing, I suppose. Okay, so let's have a look first at, I'll move that one down so long, and we're just going to look at number 1. So first step is to take the maths out of the words. So Michael, it really actually doesn't matter what his name is, but Michael has 2 boxes of pencils. So I see that we've got 2 as an important number. So I've got that, and there are 12 in each. So if I wanted to find out how many pencils he had altogether, we've got 2 boxes, and each box has 12 in it. So that would be 2 times 12. So that would tell us how many pencils Michael had altogether. He gives 6 pencils to his sister. So if he gives 6 pencils to his sister, then he's going to have less pencils. So he's minusing those pencils from his total. So give 6 pencils, so that's subtract 6. Here comes the slightly trickier part. Okay, so our number sentence is there. In fact, no, this one, it doesn't really matter if you do or you don't, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, we wanted to find out how many pencils he had altogether before we gave those 6 away. So what we could do is to just, why am I using the same color? What we could do is to just put a bracket around there just to make sure we work out how many pencils he has altogether before we give it away. So if you're good at Bedmas, you might realize that actually times comes before minus, so it wouldn't make a difference in this case. But I'd like to get into the habit of putting the brackets around the things we should do first, just to make sure that we do those first. Okay, there's our number sentence. And if your teacher was marking you, or if I was your teacher, you would get 1 mark just for having written that down. Some teachers might ask you to write it like this: equals something, or equals a box, or just equals and then put your answer in at the end. We'll leave it like that for now. Okay, next we have to do the workings out. So if I remember Bedmas, brackets, yes, I have brackets, so I'm going to do that first. So the step I'm going to do first is what's inside the brackets. So 2 times 12 is 24. My minus 6 stays unchanged. I now only have a subtraction problem left, so that's what I'm going to do. And 24 minus 6 is 18. And that would be another mark if you were in my class. At this point, some teachers like you to do this. Excuse me. And put the 18 over there as well. I'm not particularly fussy about this. For me, you get the mark just for having written down the correct number sentence. All right, but there is a final step that you must do with word problems, and this is worth a mark for me. So you've got the right answer, but your question came to you as a sentence, and you need to give the answer as a sentence. So here we go. Michael has 18 pencils left. And if you're in my class, that's your 3rd mark. So all you were doing was taking your number that you wrote down, the answer that you've worked out, and putting it back into a sentence, and that's worth a whole mark. So you really don't want to miss out on doing that, because otherwise you're costing yourself marks, and it's not like you didn't know how to do it, you just forgot to put it back into a sentence. All right, let's move on to the second question. Here we go. I'm going to have to squish these down a bit. All right. At a bakery, a cupcake costs 12 Rand. I suppose that's important. We want to know how much the cupcake costs. So cupcake is 12 Rand. A muffin is 8 Rand. And what we want to work out is how much more it costs to buy 2 muffins than 1 cupcake. So we're looking at 2 muffins. So 2 muffins was, what color do we use? Oh yes, so 2 muffins. So 2 muffins was 2 times 8, because the muffin was 8 Rand. And a cupcake was 12 Rand. All right, so there we go. We've got 2 times 8, which is 2 muffins. So I'm going to write there 2 muffins. All right, and 1 cupcake. All right, so that's what we're working out. So this, we're asking how much more does it cost? So we're actually finding out the difference. So if we take away the 12 from what this is, then we'll get what how much more it is. So let's put our equals in. Again, like I did in the previous one, I would like to work out the cost of the muffins first, and so I'm going to put brackets around it, although it doesn't make a difference in this case. So first thing I'm going to do, if I look at Bedmas, is my brackets. 2 times 8 is 16. I do nothing with my minus 12. 16 minus 12 is 4. So you could put here 4. It's not necessary if you're in my class, but not many of you are. So make sure you check with your teacher what it is she wants. And the final step, the one that is so important with word problems, is that we have to put it back into a sentence. It costs 4 Rand more to buy 2, oops, I was going to write cupcakes, muffins than 1 cupcake. Here we go. It's quite difficult taking the numbers out, but let's carry on. I've got 3 more, and the last one's quite fun because it actually has a bit of a trick to it. Not a trick, but just something to watch out for. Right, number 3, let's look for the maths, or look for the numbers in here. Okay, so first off, I see 6 months. The next thing I see that it costs 400. And the next thing I see that she got a 40 Rand discount. So 40 Rand discount means that she pays 40 Rand less than what she would normally pay. It's like when you go to the shop and it's on special and you pay less, a discount is how much less you pay. So she paid 40 Rand less. She got a 40 Rand special, or 40 Rand off. Okay, so now we want to know, if she pays it monthly, how much does she pay per month? So she's going to take the whole amount and split it, or divide it, amongst those 6 months. So first of all, we're going to have to work out how much she paid. So it normally cost 400, but she got a 40 Rand difference. So 400, but she got 40 Rand off. So we're going to minus that 40 Rand. And then we're going to share it out amongst those 6 months. So we're going to divide it by 6 to share it out amongst those 6 months. Okay, now this is the reason why I've been putting those brackets in, because if we were following Bedmas without doing the brackets, then we would divide the discount by 6, which is not what we want to do. We want to divide how much money she's got to pay altogether by 6. And so to make sure that whoever's doing the problem does that, we need to put the brackets around this. So this is how much she pays. And this is months. You won't normally put the writing in there. That's just me putting my thinking on the page so you can see what it is that I'm doing. Okay, so if I'm following Bedmas, the brackets have to come first. 400 minus 40. If you couldn't see how to do that, you're welcome to always jot things down. So 400 minus 40. That's the sort of thing that you'll be able to do in your head with practice. Some of you probably can already, but I'm going to use the subtraction we've been practicing, or we practiced probably a week or so ago, and just do that. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 4 we can't do, so we're going to borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus nothing is 3, so that means that how much she pays is 360. And we still need to divide that by 6. And again, on the side, if you can't do that in your head, you just jot it down. So I'm going to do my bus stop, put my 360 in there, put my 6 out there, and then I'm going to ask myself, does 3 go into 6? No. Does 3 go into 36? Yes, it does. 6. Does 6 go into 36? 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. It goes in 6 times. With nothing left over, does 6 go into 0? It goes in 0 times. And there's my answer. So my final answer in the maths is 60. And I would need to put there if your teacher's the kind of teacher who wants it. But very importantly, this is, I think, all teachers who do maths, all decent math teachers will ask you to put it back into a sentence. So she pays, or you can say, Mom, she pays 60 Rand per month. And there's our answer. So 3 marks for getting that right. 2 to go. During the holidays, you decide to wash cars for money. You charge 30 Rand per car. If you wash 15 cars in 3 hours, how much money are you making each hour? Whew, that's difficult. Okay, so I guess let's look at the maths, the numbers first. So we've got 30 Rand per car. We've got 15 cars. We've got 3 hours. Okay, and now we need to put it into a number sentence. So first up, I suppose we want to work out how much money we made altogether, so we can work out how much we made in each hour. So we make 30 Rand for each car, and we had 15 cars. We did all right, 15 cars. All right, so let's work out how much money we made altogether. How much we made. So that's how much we made in 3 hours, but we want to actually work out how much we made in 1 hour, because it says in each hour. So we're going to divide our answer that we get there for the brackets by 3. And that should give us our final answer of how much we make per hour. Bedmas says that we do the brackets first. 30 times 15. Wow, that's a tough one. But you've been practicing some of those tricks I showed you. So let's just jot it down here. 30 times 15. Well, we can put our smiling 0 down there, and then we say 3 times 15 is 45, and so our answer is 450. So we can put the 450 here. And now we can continue. So our divided by 3 stayed there. Now we need to divide 450 by 3. So let's quickly do that as a jot down underneath. 450 with our bus stop. 3 goes into 4 once with 1 left over. 3 goes into 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 times with no leftovers. 3 goes into 0. 0 times. So that means we are making 150 per hour. And we just need to write that in a number sentence. You make per hour. Nice holiday spending money. Let's do the last one. Okay, so the last one, no, let's go through the numbers before I tell you what I was going to tell you. Okay, there are 98 children in the class. Although there's a number there, that's just saying the class, so we don't need to worry about that number. That is a meaningless number. Okay, there are 44 girls in the class, so we've got girls and boys. On Monday, 5 girls and 6 boys were absent. And the question is, how many boys were at school on Monday? So let's first of all work out how many boys there are in the grade. We've been given how many girls there are. So to work out how many boys there are, we just minus the girls. So we've got 98 children. We're going to minus the girls. And this will tell us how many boys we have. And then on Monday, we need to, on Monday, we have 6 boys absent. So we're going to need to get rid of those 6 to find out how many boys there were there on Monday. Okay, so we're going to start with a bracket. So 98 minus 44. If you can't think of that in your head, just jot it down. Minus 44. 8 minus 4 is 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. So there were 54 boys normally, but then on Monday there were 6 absent. So now we go 54 minus 6 is 48. And we can now put that into our answer. There were 48 boys at school on Monday. So this is the thing I wanted to point out here. We've got a piece of information here that we didn't use, and it's this. The fact that there were 5 girls absent on Monday. That is one of those things where the teacher's put something in there, in this case I'm the teacher, has put something in there to maybe check if you're paying attention, or to trick you. Not to trick you, just to make, well, I suppose check that you're able to do the maths properly. So that piece of information, that 5 girls, you don't need it for this problem. So watch out for those pieces of information that are included that you don't actually need. I've made sure that there's one of these at least in your homework. So keep a lookout. All right, those are the problems we're going to go through today. I hope that it's sort of starting to make sense how you take the numbers out of the maths and make a number sentence, put the workings and then the answer sentence. For the memo, for the worksheet for today, you will not be considered 100% correct unless you've written down all 3 of those things. So a number sentence, that's the first line, the workings out to get the right answer, and then an answer sentence in words. Those are the 3 things you need for every single word problem. And that is all of the word problems we're going to do today. Some for you to do if you click on the link above. Just a reminder, if you've got any questions, you email me, grade5@worksheetcloud.com. Grade 5s, have a fantastic morning. I will see you again soon. Goodbye.